there a chance we could make this like a little lower cut or...
Get the f off!
Welcome to a very special episode of Today in the Garden. This is my GroundForce special. Now, this is no way endorsed or licensed by the BBC because it's not even on there anymore. And I think that's not good. I think we need to have GroundForce back on our screens. It's been about 30 years. It needs to come back. So instead of writing a million letters and probably, spamming social media, I decided I'm going to make my own version and then send it over to them. Can you really do a garden in a day? Will it last after 3 weeks? Is Tommy Walsh owned by Poundland still? Who knows?
This week I find myself in a pub garden on the Norfolk Broads in Ranford, and this garden is in desperate need of a makeover. Luckily for me, the man who runs it is my father-in-law, so yay for nepotism.
Hello.
How you doing? You
I'm
okay?
all right. Oh, wow. So, this is it?
This is it.
Right, Phil, real talk. This place is huge. Why have you asked me to do this?
Person who we had in mind has pulled out at the last minute.
Okay.
And we're under pressure to open.
That works for me. A pub in distress in need of a new garden? We can do that. Now, there was one part in the pub garden that was a real shady spot, so I'm going to head to my local nursery and get some shade and partially shade-loving plants to create a dark oasis. That looks a bit too big for the car. Now, whenever I talk about aces, I tell people, don't let them get too much wind. It's not a good thing for them. And then I do something quite hypocritical, like, put it on the roof of my car and drive 30 miles an hour. Don't do that. Next up, it was tree fern shopping, so I went to visit my friends at HSK and found the perfect tree fern.
Right, the one that I want, I think this one will do. This is perfect.
I don't think a 6 foot's going to fit in your Mini.
Well, I'm 6 foot, so surely if I laid down or, that... Right, okay. What do you recommend?
About a 5 foot without fronds, maybe?
Right, okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to explain to them that I'm going to be planting them just a trunk. Okay, so I've been told that I've got to get myself a 5 foot one because that's what's going to fit in the car. Let's be realistic about it. They give me a stick, which helps. That's 5 foot. Apparently the fronds are going to get damaged. So what I'm going to do is I'll get myself a 5 foot one without any fronds, and then I'll get the 2 foot one, just a little bit smaller, with fronds, so they don't think I've just sold them a stick. Yeah, that'll work.
My newly sourced tree fern gets a quick haircut. I get this second 2 foot tall one.
I know what you're thinking, it does look a bit phallic, but it's a plant.
And it's all in the car, ready for its new home.
Okay, tree ferns sorted, and by tree ferns I mean one tree fern and a giant log. One of the safest ways you can transport a tree fern is in this state, where it is effectively dormant. It'll end up having amazing fronds, just like the ones in the nursery, but it's about a month behind, which actually works out really well for me. It means I can plant it, stake it, get it all sorted, and in a month or so, it's going to look amazing. Honestly, I don't know how they do it on GroundForce. I think the difference between my version of GroundForce and the actual version is I'm just one person. Whereas they had a whole team. I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
The next day, all the plants arrive in the van, and I start unloading them. And it looks a little bit like a magic trick. How did that tree fit in there?
Tree fern. Now, if you remember in the drawing, there's a big pond in the center of this, then all the shade-loving plants all the way around it. And for this, I want to be able to have quite a deep pond. So I'm going to go about a foot or two, just so they're not constantly replenishing water. It doesn't need to be so deep that it supports fish, but it's deep enough that it at least looks the part. Let's get going. Now, what I'm doing here is carving out a 2-tier shelf for the pond. And if you leave this on its own, as you can see, it crumbles away pretty easily. But the idea is when the water fills up, it'll build the pressure on the outside and actually hold it in shape. But it means I can put some lower grown plants in here, and also wildlife can get out. Digging on old sites always feels a little bit like an archaeological dig. And even look what I found down here, a very rare and Very old piece of plywood. Can't you tell this used to be a job site?
Okay, fun aside, back to work.
A really good way to get a natural finished pond is actually sculpt it by hand, and it's nothing fancy, it's just a case of rubbing the edges flat and making it feel a little bit more natural. How good does this look?
The pond was starting to take shape and the liner was going on nicely. Now remember, if you're flying it down, don't put shoes on. We don't want any sharp edges on our liner.
Okay, here we go. Right, now the pond is filling up quite nicely with water, slowly but steadily, and here's the catch. It is about 2 o'clock and I've spent half the day digging a hole and also delivering plants. So my dreams of a GroundForce recreation is slowly dwindling. I still need to make a waterfall and plant it up. And I think I've also forgotten the smaller plants. I'm going to need to call in a favour.
Luckily for me, years of loyalty to Cherry Lane means that they've got one right round the corner, and I reckon they've got something I'm sure I'll need.
Ooh, right, maybe one of those. One of those. Can't have a shade garden without hostas. Don't worry too much about getting small ferns. It feels a little bit lost, but the idea is we want to grow into it and fill the space nicely. So a good amount of ferns in a shady spot is absolutely ideal. How exciting. Now, I am going to grab one of these rhododendrons because they do like partial shade, and the garden is a shady, sunny spot. So there's a little corner where I think this will do really well. But remember, they are ericaceous plants. So what I'm actually going to do is bury this a little bit deeper in a bigger pot and fill it with ericaceous compost so that all the other plants that don't like the acidity, it won't matter. But this will absolutely thrive. This is fun. Now this would save me a lot of time making a water feature. I wonder if I could get away with this.
One cheeky call to head office later, and
There we go. Guess I got away with it. Now, you may be wondering why I've got myself a pre-made waterfall, considering there's already a pond right there. That seems a bit counterintuitive, but what I'm actually going to do is something quite genius. I'm going to sink the first layer so the water goes straight down into the pond, and this is going to feel like it's always been there. Well, that's the theory. Here we go. How about that? Right, now all I've got to do is make sure that I've buried this deep enough so that the water will go over the front lip. And then we'll see if it works.
after 10 minutes I noticed the water level hadn't risen up the waterfall at all.
Trying to figure out why the water level wasn't going up any higher, and it was starting to panic a little bit. I thought maybe there's a leak in the liner, but actually the problem's way more simple than that. It turns out there's an air pocket in here, so as a result, this is floating. So to solve that problem, a couple air holes. Right, it's plugged in. Moment of truth. Was this a good idea or a bad idea? It works! Right, difficult part over. Let's plant it up. Now, before you plant up any garden, especially when you've got this many plants, what the best thing you can do is put the pots on the ground, not dug in, and just see how it looks layout-wise, then place it in. Because if you've dug it in and wasted the time, and it's wrong, you just gotta keep going over again and again. I want this acer to kind of spill over into that area. It gives it a bit of shady protection, but also makes the garden feel more immersive, which I like. Now, I've not put a filter on this pond because it's in a shady area, so I'm going to try and make it as best I can as a natural pond. And I've bought these. Now, it doesn't look like much, but these are actually oxygenating plants, which they'll suck up all the nutrients that something like algae or even some of our unwanted pests will like. And they've got little weights on them, so you just chuck them in. Because I put that shelf in the pond, it means I can sink down these pond plants, which will get bigger and just make it feel even more natural. I don't know about you, but I think it's starting to take shape. Right, let's plant them up.
Planting took way into the evening, but it was finally time to show my father-in-law what I'd done.
Okay, right, keep your eyes covered.
Yeah,
keep them
I'm
covered.
done.
Watch the table.
Am I going this way?
Yep, okay, ready?
Yeah.
And open your eyes.
Oh, wow. That is incredible.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah. So we've got this garden, then we've got the herb garden over there, which so the chef can get all the bits they need for chips and stuff. And then over there is we've repurposed all the palms that were in those pots, planted them back up, added some extra ornamental grasses, so this should create a nice little bit of a natural screening for the area.
That's brilliant, mate. That is absolutely knockout.
I'm really glad you like it. Tell you what though, mate, I'm shattered.
Do you want a drink?
I think I could do it with a drink. It's a good shout. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. So when do you open?
Tuesday.
Oh, wow. At least you got a garden.
What a garden.
I tell you what, ground forcing, it's a hard job. Good night. Side and then pose, then hold for 3.
Okay.
Turn your whole body.
Okay.
So go there.
Oh, okay.
And then, ta-da, smile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the plant. The plant can turn with you.